as many of his chances as I feel he should. Tom Johnston is another winger who I do feel maybe needs to up his conversion rate a little bit, and also what he doesn't do that Grace does a bit more of, and we see wingers around the league, the top wingers that get in the England squad, Ryan Hall, Jerry McGilvery in particular, he doesn't do a lot of exit set work for me, Tom Johnston. But I think based on the stats, based on what I've read and based on what I've seen, he did a bit more in this game of that. But his conversion rate, he had 5 clean breaks according to the stats, and he only scored 1 try. He didn't do any try assists. Now, this year so far, he's scored 15 tries, but he's had 30 clean breaks, and he's not had a single try assist. That, to me, suggests that there's something... He's not quite got his finishing right. That's what that suggests to me. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, because he's got a turn of pace on him, so it's not like he should be getting caught week in, week out, is it?
And he's great at diving into the corner as well for spectacular finishes. I haven't put my finger on what it is, because I haven't seen enough of these chances that he's obviously had. But to me, there's improvement still in Tom Johnston. I think that's a really exciting thing. Same with Regan Grace. It's an exciting thing, but let's not be celebrating them as the finished article when there is this improvement there, because I want to see these guys be absolutely great. Because then that's highlight reels waiting to happen. Yeah.
And what Wakefield do that I do like is they are prepared to put these kicks over the top for the wingers to chase, knowing that the wingers are fast.
Yeah, and have got really good try-scoring records as well, with both wingers in double figures, and Mason Caton-Brown grabbing a good few tries when he comes in. But the story of the game overall, outside of that little snippet, really was the Catalan Dragons. They pretty much would have had it won at half-time without that missed penalty attempt and leading to Tom Johnston's try. But they didn't... and they kind of had a bit of adversity at the start of the second half, and we've not necessarily seen this Catalan side deal well with adversity over the recent past. But they had Lewis Tierney put in the sin bin. Justin Horrow then went in for a try straight after. It closed the gap down to 22-18, 15 minutes into the first half. But they managed to manage the rest of that sin bin period, and actually kind of that laid the platform then for him to win the game. Braden Williami and Fuad Yaha finishing things off after it had been pushed out to a 2-score margin by a penalty and a drop goal. So Braden Williami's try, Fuad Yaha played a really nice little kick inside. I didn't know he had that nimble of footwork, so that was impressive. I hope they do manage to sort out tying Fuad Yaha down, because now he's had a run in the side and the side are playing well. He seems to be a much better player, much more confident player. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
I think a couple of the tries in the first half looked a little bit easy from, and Wakefield will be really disappointed. Greg Bird's try, there wasn't like too many elaborate plays to deal with. It wasn't a lot of there wasn't like loads of dummy runners and stuff. It wasn't like Wigan's first try against Warrington, where it was absolutely perfectly executed, that however your defence were going to be lined up, they were going to struggle to stop it. It was just a pass to a runner, really, who hit a hole. Similarly, Benjamin Julian's try, it looked like he ran through half the team. I'm not sure how it was quite so easy. So really, there's things there that Wakefield are going to be worried about. But for Catalan to win away from home, to win when they had a little bit of adversity as well, that try just before half-time and then the sin bin and the try after half-time, I think it really bodes well for them. And the level on points now with Wakefield, that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's massive, because I mean it's not that long ago that we thought, well, who's going to be in the middle eights with Catalan?
Yeah, it is only a couple of short months ago, isn't it? I mean, picture this side versus that side that capitulated in the second half to Wigan, and it just feels like it's a much more solid, strong side. And the huge size of the bench. I mean, both teams have got relatively big benches in this side, in this game. Sorry, Paulie and Keegan Hurst, two of the men coming off the bench for Trinity, are absolutely huge human beings. But this was the Catalans in that weather, really hot weather, to be able to cycle these guys through your side. Just think about how the relentlessness of this is going to be for the opposition team. Julian Busquet, Sam Mower, Kenny Edwards and Jason Battieri, that was the bench. That's huge and experienced. Yeah. It's going to be tough to stop if they've already got a lead on you, which they already did have. So well done to the Dragons in that regard. Okay. Stats. Neither team tackled at a great success rate, both under 90%, but Catalans were better at that. They were also better at everything else too, other than conceding one extra penalty. They had 5 more breaks, 343 more metres at a 1.7 metres per carry better average gain. They were all big stat wins for the Dragons over Trinity. Individually, Braden William, 2 tries, 5 tackle busts, 110 metres. I think most of those tackle busts and 110 metres came on his first try. You can see that one on the Super League highlights reel there. Fuad Yaha, 1 try, 1 try assist, 5 tackles, 159 metres, 4 clean breaks. David Mead, a try, 109 metres, 3 successful offloads. And Greg Bird, a try and 158 metres. And to be honest, there was quite a few other Catalan players that would have deserved a mention. I think Ben Garcia had really good stats as well in this game. For the losing side, Tom Johnson with a try, 12 tackle busts, 187 metres and 5 clean breaks. I'm not sure how clean those clean breaks were, but that's what the stats man said. Bill Tupou, 157 metres. Reece Lynn, 106 metres. So those two absolutely consistent for Trin. Ryan Hampshire at fullback again in this one, 109 metres. But I kind of feel like, I know Liam Finn had that clever play with that kick. I kind of feel like they might want to go back at looking at Jowett at fullback and Hampshire in the halves. It seemed to be clicking better that way, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, Sunday's games now. We had 2 Sunday games to talk about, and 2 pretty well-attended Sunday games to talk about as well, relative to the ground sizes and the clubs involved. Hull Kingston Rovers played Salford. That was a 3 o'clock kick-off. Gareth Hewer was the referee. 7,698 saw this one. It was over at half-time, 36 points to 6 in favour of the Rovers. 52-22 it ended, with Salford having a little bit of a positive finish to the game, maybe when the Robins took the foot off the pedal there. But good way overall. Do you want to start with the first of the fan reviews on this one?
Yep, the first of the fan reviews comes from at Inside Oz podcast. And it says, Hull KR have improved drastically since the returns of Maguire and Lunt. Had both been fit for longer in the season, we could have finished 8th, but no better. Especially when the next option is Tommy Lee, who should have been buried in the Championship years ago. Vivai continues to put in the hard work. Salford looked lost for large periods of the game. It showed good hands at times. Both teams should survive the middle eights.
That last line is the most positive thing I've heard about Salford in about 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, it's done 2. We've got 2 here from Inside Oz podcast. That's strange. Tom Andrews at Tom_HKR said, we owed Salford one after the last time they came to Craven Park, and we shoved that drop goal right up their arse with some champagne rugby. Second half was spoilt by Hewer trying to make a game of it. He must be the most physically unfit ref in the league. He was blowing more than Salford's pack. Also, hope Hull KR's mission to get Louis is over, as he seemed uninterested today. Hope we spend the cash to get Sow instead. Well, Inside Oz, that is, say, I think he did one on the
His
floor.
last paragraph's different.
Oh, right, okay.
McCarthy's late shot on Atkin is the most memorable thing that he's done in the last 4 years at the end at any of his last 4 clubs.
Well, he didn't do much memorable in his stint down under, because he only played about 2 games. But no, do you know what? Tyrone McCarthy, I do want to give him credit for something in this game. Adam Quinlan's try when he broke from the middle of the field, and bear in mind at this point, the score lines were equal, right? Adam Quinlan's try, yeah. He was the only Salford player chasing him back. It was a lost cause, of course, but he showed that effort and determination and character that fans will appreciate.
Yeah.
So I do want to pick him out and credit him for that, to be honest. In terms of everything else in this one, it did look like Hull KR played great stuff, particularly in that first half. The Joel Tompkins try, they were forced into a bit of a reshuffle when Ryan Shaw went off, and Maurice Blair ended up on the wing, but he showed a great burst of pace to get down the wing and throw the ball back inside for Joel Tompkins, who was playing as his centre. That must be the biggest and slowest centre wing partnership of the season so far. Danny Maguire scored a hat-trick, by all accounts ran the show. You've got to say that.
That's the thing, you know, that if Danny Maguire's going to play, he is going to run the game.
Exactly, yeah.
We said about the Good Friday derby at their place, if Maguire had been fit, they'd have won the match.
Yeah, and obviously Sean Lunt as well, coming off the bench and adding some impetus there. I think definitely they're a lot better side than Atkin and Lunt playing as kind of the creative axis, and Adam Quinlan coming off the back of it. Rob Mulhern coming back into the side is a big factor because he makes a lot of meters. I'm just looking; he did make the stat roundup. Yeah, so he was imposing again. I think that's really important for them because it means they've got a better rotation. What they've had to do when they've had injuries to either Scruton or Mulhern is play one of the loose forwards effectively as the front row forward, so people like Ben Kavanagh or James Donaldson. And I really think those guys, they're hard-working players. They're, grit and determined players, but they're not players that are going to make an impression on the opposition defence carrying the ball. And so you don't then get the space and time for your skill blokes out the back, do you?
No.
So that's what they were able to get in this instance. Junior Sal did score 2 cracking tries though for Salford, so he remains their shining light, and he'd probably be a centre in that bottom 4 dream team that's kind of bubbling up in my mind. I think Rob Mulhern would definitely be in there. He'd probably be the first name on the team sheet actually, not Quinlan, wouldn't he, Rob Mulhern? In fact, Rob Mulhern's probably still within an outside shout of the main Super League dream team the way he has gone this year. Okay, did you have anything else to add on this one? No,
it just all sounds a bit woeful for Salford, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really worrying. I don't really know where the change is going to come. I mean, I'm looking through their team sheet, and Nakumba didn't play. Little John is injured now and might be out for a while, but that's not necessarily a problem for him because we know how diabolical he's been this season. The only shining light maybe is the possible arrival of Jackson Hastings, who is a flashy player who might be able to pull something out of the bag if he can get on with his teammates. So so we'll wait and see what happens there. But really, they need a winger, they need a half-back, they need a prop, I would suggest. Josh Jones back in the squad though, so that's a boost for the back row, definitely. Okay, stats. In a game that saw the equal most tries for a Super League game so far this season with 13, they were shared out somewhat unequally, with the home side winning that stat 9-4. They also won all the other stats too: more meters, fewer errors, although it was a high 13-17 overall error count, made more breaks and tackled at a better success rate, so well done to Hull KR. Individually, Will Oakes, who made his return to the side after a long while out, 2 tries, 8 tackles, 152 metres, 4 clean breaks, probably benefiting from Kieran Moss going out on loan. Adam Quinlan with a try, 2 try assists, 7 tackles, 141 metres, 2 clean breaks. Junior Vavai with a try, assist and 135 metres. Rob Mulhern 121 metres. Okay, for the losing Salford side, Ed Chamberlain in at fullback made 140 metres, so had a lot of kicks to return, I suspect. Daryl Alfort's a try assist and 126 metres. Lee Mossop 113 metres, and Daniel Murray 120 metres. Final game of the weekend then, Sarah. It was Castleford against Leeds Rhinos, so a big game for the Cas fans. 42-10 was what it ended up, so it was a big score too for the Cas fans. 9,557 of mostly Cas fans turned out in the sunshine to watch this one. Liam Moore was the referee. It was actually only 16-10 at half-time, Sarah, so it does show that Leeds were competitive.
I still thought that Leeds might, do us a favour and beat Castleford, but can't trust them to do anything right, can you?
Not at the moment. But do you want to take us through the first of the fan reviews from Staunch Rhino, Rich Wilkinson?
Rich Wilkinson says, a lot of effort from Leeds, but too many errors and far too many missed tackles. Must win our next 3.
Tim G Radio said, so that coach bounce worked for them, lads? Do Leeds want to be the new Bradford? # Slumpy McSlumpface.
Then Gary Hetherington got in touch with us.
This must be what he was doing after the game, because the radio commentary said he was sat on his own, just with his phone out in the director's box, looking all lonely. He was getting his fan review in, obviously.
Well done, Gary. So he says, so it turns out that hiring Sir Kev to a role he has no experience of and a coach who has failed elsewhere won't miraculously fix our team issues. By the way, if we do play Fevitt in the middle 8, can we make Briscoe play one half for each team?
That would be amazing. Is that they've actually offered him a permanent deal, the rumours are, for next year, so they're obviously happy with what they're doing and continuing the policy of signing championship players. Fatboy Rob said, easy win for the champions asterisk. Truman ran things to complete the treble against our special neighbours. Leeds are in real trouble if they can't get up for a game against their main rivals, who have half a team out in front of a new coach, and while using all 4 subs, they never will. At this rate, they will have a derby against the Bulls to look forward to next season. Hashtag 3 in a row. Hashtag where's Jimmy. Hashtag 8 in a row. Hashtag Sinfield out.